when they sent me the schedule, it did not have yesterday on. It had today and tomorrow. So yeah, I got a bit scammed yesterday, but that's okay. It happens. Yesterday was a little bit interesting because Lancer beat Maru to start the day off, and then Hero beat Gumiho and Hero beat Lancer. Puts the group into a pretty interesting state with the second day of games. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy. I have a nice chilled out cast myself because we are here covering because we're here covering some I love that Gumiho is just got a it's just green screened into a Christmas background. This is utterly ridiculous, but sure. So yes, hello everyone, welcome. Let's get in game. We can actually have game sounds now that we are into it as well. Perfect. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Well, hope everyone is feeling good, ready for some Starcraft 2. Definitely ready myself to get into some games and cast a little bit. Obviously, we were covering the Basilisk Cup yesterday as well, which was some good fun, so that was also pretty neat and a good time overall. Didn't get to catch the end of that, but saw the results, so some cool results there as well. As we just have ourselves this TVT getting set up and ready to rumble, guys. So it is going to be Gumiho, it is going to be Maru. Gumiho teamless, Maru from Vitality. As we get ourselves into this Master Coliseum Group C Day 2. So for us today, pretty busy day because we're going to do this. And then later on, we're going to have the WardiTV 3v3 December Cup, which is a $600 3v3 tournament. So that'll be coming up later today. So you guys can sit back and enjoy that. So yeah, we're just going to have a bunch of StarCraft 2 coming for you guys. Orbital's coming up, Reaper on the way through. As we get settled down here just for a few moments. Let me see where we're going to go to. Factory on the way up as well, so we bring that up and online. And we're seeing the factory still coming through on both sides of the map. The Reaper building, command center on the way out. Continue to get settled in here for the next few moments of this game. And again, just getting set up, take a little bit, see where we're going to go to. See what the plan is as our Marines continue to produce on through. Just going to be seeing the CT coming down on the low ground as well, so just going to get that rolling for the moment as well. And yeah, we just settle down and see what we'll do as the factory gets a Helene on the way out. CC's building as well, so it's going to be a little bit of a faster CC on the side of Gumiho, so he will have that going his way, so that's a nice little benefit for him. See those two Reapers and the Hellion going to gather up, join up and move around for a little bit as well. Starport about to finish up, and we'll start to see some of the further pressure of this TVT getting going in these next few moments. Then see exactly how things are going to go, see how things are going to line up as we get settled here in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. Again, this is best of 3 as we make our way through the games today. Everything is a best of 3. Using the Reapers, the Hellion, the Woodland unburrowing. Just going to start moving through a little bit as well. So just going to see if anything can be done across the map. Going to lift up into that medevac. Defensively, Gumiho does have the Cyclone and so on, so should definitely be ways for him to kind of get through this without being in too much trouble or anything. As that refinery continues through over on the side there. And we do have ourselves again the Cyclone, the Raven, a couple of Marines all continuing up into play for the moment. As we get all of that online, we settle into a nice comfortable position. Here's the medevac. Cyclone the Raven will move through, so the defense getting ready for Gumiho immediately. Obviously wants to try and shut this down without taking too much damage at all. Would be preferable. So I'm going to do his best there, as this is bringing a very good shutdown. He's actually going to kill the medevac as well. Great start for Gumiho. who, in this TVT matchup, I actually think has a pretty good shot against Maru. I think Gumiho's TVT is very good, and would not be surprised at all to see a match being able to come out on top of this one. I know a lot of people will just, I don't want to say blindly, but will naturally just kind of be like, oh yeah, Maru has probably got this, his TVT is amazing, which don't get me wrong, it is. I do feel as though Gumiho's TVT stands up to the test of Maru lately. Have they played recently in something? I feel like they've played recently in something for some reason. Let me have a quick peek on the Aligulax. I feel like, for some reason, I remember Gumiho beating Maru, but I might just be making that up. Yeah, Gumiho beat him, of course, in Home Story Cup, yes! In Home Story Cup, 3-2 in favor of Gumiho, yes, yes, yes. So yeah, Gumiho's TVT lately has stood up to Maru, and actually in person as well, offline, so... Yeah, that's actually very cool. That's the first time Gumiho had beaten Maru in a hot second, but shows he can do it and shows that it's happened. The fact it's happened more recently is obviously a good sign as well if you are a Gumiho fan here today and cheering for him to find some victory across the course of these games. I'm going to be seeing, full-on mech play from Gumiho too, which is one of the things he's been doing a lot in TVT. I mean, again, we hop back onto Home Story Cup straight away and talk about his TVT in that finals against Clem. At least the TVT he got to play before Clem switched up to PVT. And that was a lot of very mechy, kind of tech-heavy builds. In this case, Maru is going to play mech as well, so we're going to see mech versus mech on ley lines. You might have to buckle in, guys. This might actually turn into a pretty lengthy game. Mech on mech has a lot of ways to just kind of draw out and to not get closed out and to basically never end, so imagining that that is something of a factor here as well as we get ready to go. With a push of Gumiho heading up the right-hand side at the moment, Vikings and Ravens are going to be in tow as well. And all these units coming across the other side and taking position as we just have the scan coming down. A couple of tanks are going to set up across the board. The tanks setting up here, there, and everywhere as the position of Gumiho is good, and he's going to get rid of one tank immediately. I mean, you don't expect Maru to die this early on, but I mean, Gumiho gets into a good spot. Let's see again what he can maybe actually do with it. There's a long way to go right now before this becomes noteworthy. And with the air control there as well, I actually don't think there's going to be too much issue for Maru. I actually think he's going to be pretty much okay off of the grand scheme of things. Again, that CC coming up, a couple of refineries coming online as well. You bring all of this through. Vikings and the Ravens moving about, cruising over. Seeing what they can get up to and where. As we just have the mech play continuing. We actually do have Liberators building as well, which makes sense when you've got that air control. Get those libs out. So I see a couple of tanks that are left to the front get cleaned up easily. And Gumiho's still reinforcing here, so he's still trying to move forward. It's not exactly ideal to be losing out on everything at the moment. Does create some issues for you, believe it or not. We're seeing those tanks on sieging, going to move elsewhere. Viking's going to fight. He's going to be seeing the Hellions taking some damage. Actually going to be a pretty convincing fight for Maru here. At least it felt like it originally. It felt like in the skies he was doing very well, and maybe he was. He's going to lose out in the skies eventually. His Liberator will take some attention, which is going to keep his Vikings safe a little longer. It's actually going to be very even by the time we come out of this, which is impressive because I did not feel like that was going to be the case at first. I felt like this was going to be a very different situation. SDV's crossing coming across. Backfield coming through from both sides, realizing that Cyclones are going to be an important part of this game, and these compositions continuing through. So, we get that already, and a couple of Hellions and the Cyclones moving up. That Liberator goes through the top. Now we're going to be seeing another scan coming around as well. Is GSL still alive? Not that we know of. I mean, basically, we will probably not get any GSL news until we get general Starcraft circuit news. And I would imagine GSL's life depends on whether or not there's a circuit that will support GSL as part of that circuit and pay for prize pools and stuff, so... yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of where GSL was at before it concluded that last year. I mean, GSL has been kind of hopping along and has been supported by different things for a long time, so... unfortunately, just kind of getting to that point where GSL may not really survive through. There's a couple of Cyclones locking onto these Hellions. Hellions are going to go down, so that's going to be some good damage dealt. Get a bunch of those killed off right away here. A couple of Vikings coming in from the top side as well. Going to reposition for a few moments. Let's just have the CC also moving out and around the other side. Vikings, Cyclones, tanks all joined up together. Going to be having this sense terror. Obviously going to give you some information. This is why Mech TVT can obviously keep you kind of a buckle up and let's get ready to rumble scenario, right? And it's just going to be seeing those few Hellions. We'll actually get one STV that's building a sense tower there, so delay that little bit of information from coming online a little further. Vikings coming through. It's going to be seeing our racks in the sky. And all the extra factors coming through and extra starports as well. We started to really take a later game turn in this TVT, so there's a whole bunch of siege tanks coming through on one side. We're actually seeing very Cyclone heavy play currently from Gumiho. Couple of tanks is going to be flaming through. Again, a couple more shots coming over. We've seen a few of the units in the center going to take some trades as well. A couple, I mean, at this point, TVT has become a very kind of big kind of map control and mobility fest, which usually mech armies are not super mobile, but because you have Cyclones involved, that part of this is super mobile, so then there's a lot more that you can do and achieve, and it kind of makes this game work a little bit more differently to how you might typically expect it, as, again, the tanks and the Vikings and everything continue to gather up. Cyclones and the Ravens come moving across. They're just going to reposition slightly. Again, a few more Cyclones coming over, just going to see if there's anything else that can be done here. Units are still going to continue to gather together for a few moments, as we actually have got this little group of Cyclones maybe getting cornered in a little bit for Gumiho. Maru was looking as though he was getting something of a catch on those. It looks as though for now they'll be left alive, but like they're kind of surrounded in that top portion of the map. I do not really see an easy way out for them, honestly. This is a little bit awkward. You lose all these Cyclones without getting something of a trade of them, and that could be a problem. Matrix is coming down as we do see the rest of the Cyclones, the Vikings, and the siege tanks all coming to press on forward. We've seen those Vikings just gonna load up, just gonna jump away. Gonna be seeing that scan still coming through. Tanks still settling that orbital will be going through. Just going to be seeing another scan coming down again. So just going to see a little bit more of what's going on. Hellbat's going to shoot a couple more interference matrices coming about. Just going to be seeing a scan still coming through as a Maru army is trying to play defense. Gumiho is on the supply lead and on the offensive as well, coming in from two sides. Going to succeed big time on the right-hand side as he comes in over here. He's going to net himself a CC. I mean, these Cyclones should absolutely be able to get that. Cyclone's locking in the CC. It's going to be taking a few more shots. Vikings continue back over again, just trying to see what else is going on. Just going to be seeing the +2 Ravens, a few siege tanks coming up as well. The scan coming down as Maru and Gumiho get maxed out once again here. This mech versus mech play keeps on ramping up. That's the army coming up. Just going to be seeing the Vikings, the Ravens coming through. Just going to be seeing the matrices going down across those siege tanks as well. And we'll just see a few more shots coming in across the board for a few moments. Just going to be seeing that barracks stuff blowing up, but the Ravens coming through. Going to be seeing the rest of the Ravens on that right-hand side going to come in. Matrix is going down all across those siege tanks. And that's going to be another moment where Gumiho is the one to kind of press forwards, and resources lost is about 3,000 in his favor. More shots, the little EMP goes down as well. We've seen the Ravens going to drop down a couple more matrices and just going to see the rest of this coming back through the other direction. So away we go. And scan of 2 coming into play. And Gumiho is going to get pushed back, which is scary because if those tanks do not get away, that's a lot of units being lost as all those tanks going down. Cyclones locking on, chasing those tanks a little bit. Do you have battle crews on the way up from Gumiho, but that's not going to matter at all if you don't survive long enough to actually get the battle cruiser count up and running, which is kind of where we're going to right now. And Cyclones and the Ravens back through the middle of the map, just going to be seeing a few more units gathering up as well. Again, the factories coming through. Cyclone's going to get in position. You're going to see that planetary fortress taking a few more shots. SCV's going down across the board. I mean, again, just Gumiho trying to counterattack up is going to do pretty well. The fact that Maru did not kind of break all the way through gives Gumiho a little bit of recovery time. And it is Maru that's dropping off supply-wise a little bit at this stage. More shots coming through. The Hellions and the Cyclones, the Ravens as well continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the army continue to move over. More shots coming through, 36 SCVs going down. Obviously, we got ourselves Maru still pressing forward, losing all those SCVs and just rebuilding it into army. It's going to be a struggle for Gumiho to get rid of an army of that size. It's definitely going to be a struggle. I like the counterattacks, right? So anything you can do here to kind of keep your opponent from reinforcing with more army is probably a good thing, because that army is already more than big enough, right? So you do not want to let that get any bigger here, if at all avoidable. 5 tanks, a few Vikings, the Hellions coming up as well. Matrix is going down across all those siege tanks. There's a bit more damage being done. Just going to be seeing, I mean, Maru again, his army's going to be very good at pushing in. Army supply is only 131 to 107. When I say only because it was looking worse than that previously, it's evened out a little bit. So Maru is poor. He's got absolutely no gas in the bank as well, so you actually can't build a lot of value. You can mostly only build Hellions/Hellbats. Pushing forward, Gumiho taking a whole lot more shots. Hellions, Hellbats, Cyclones, all pushing by for the moment, just pulling on through. Trying to get in there, as you are going to be seeing that Raven play coming through as well. A few Vikings lined up. I mean, again, Gumiho, army supply is trailing, but only by a little bit. I mean, I could genuinely believe. I mean, I guess it depends how much of that is Hellions as well. Obviously, Gumiho having his production camp is not exactly great. Ravens and the Hellions will continue to move around. So we've seen a Hellions and the Viking just going to come over. And we do have ourselves the Orbital Commander going to drop, so Orbital will fall here. That will be taken out for the moment. Is being revealed. I think that is what that says. So I believe that is probably no command centers left on the map for Maru. Definitely looking as though Gumiho is getting the edge at the moment. Gumiho. I mean, he's still got this Maru army to deal with, and he's still a bit down in army, but I mean, it's interesting, right? Because you're essentially getting bullied by the Ravens. You do have Ravens of your own, but so far Maru is being more effective. Just pushing forwards here. I mean, still taking some losses. Gumiho is right to just run away, give it time, because again, if he can just buy himself time, I think he should be able to give himself a good chance of this. Hellbats tanks will continue to come through. The factory going to come over. Maru keeps running through, like I say. You can see his supply really is not keeping up. Gumiho's getting 5 tanks, 6 Vikings in production. Ravens and tanks continue to pop out. A little bit more damage being dealt. 7 Vikings currently on the way through, so just bringing all of that up. The Hallion's going to get blasted. The Viking's going to be there. Raven's going to be involved. I mean, can Maru's Ravens carry him through this? I really do not think so. Matrixes on all of those Vikings, and they are just going to be sat there doing absolutely nothing for the moment. As they come free, Gumiho has enough, and he's going to claim game number 1 of this group here today. Congrats to Gumiho. As I will just mute up the sound between games, guys, from the stream. My goal is to not get demonetized on YouTube this time. That's the goal. I don't know if it's how viable it is. But we're going to try and not get the YouTube stream demonetized. That is that is what we're hoping and waiting for, basically. So, fingers crossed. This is bad for Maru. He's 0-1 in this group, by the way. If he loses this match, he's probably out. Without even playing against Hero. Which is really a pretty crazy thing to have happen. I don't think many people would have put that on their Starcraft 2 bingo cards for the day. Maru out before he even plays the 3rd series. No, lose to, obviously just the fact he lost to Lancer kind of removes the ability to kind of mess up, right? That's going to be rough for you. Maru looking dejected. Oh my goodness. That's a very sad drink of water. Once we get back into it, guys. Well, we are just going to proxy from Gumiho, so he's going to take his 1-0 advantage and just try and run away with it a little bit with a proxy play. Don't blame him. And a couple of racks coming through. The refinery and the SCV coming up as well. Just going to be seeing Maru is scouting, and he's going to miss the barracks. Only just, but it is a miss, and a miss is a miss, and that's going to hurt. As the SCV continues over. SCV scouts through. Just going to be seeing a couple of Reapers continue to come up as well as we get settled down. Punk is prepping because obviously Maru realizing there's no barracks on the other side of the map. I didn't see Gumiho sending the Reaper home just to get that SCV. Oh, this is interesting. Because he's proxying everything, he'd rather kill the SCV and stop it from seeing that there's no factory. The factory lifting off, going to go to the tech lab, so just full on proxy all in here from Gumiho to try and steal a game number 2 and this series. He lost to Hero, so very important for Gumiho to win this one, and then to beat Lancer as well would give him a good chance of advancing from this group. It's going to be seeing a couple of SCV shots. Going to come down, just going to push away a little bit. Going to be seeing the siege tank firing, a couple of SCVs will be falling. Going to be seeing the engineering base still coming up as well. So just continue to bring that through. And as we have ourselves, the Marines going to nibble away at the barracks. So we're actually going to take a few more shots. Damage being done. Siege tank, bunker, SCV all coming through as well. So these tanks get sieged, and now we have to see how Maru defends this. Problem is reactor at the front is kind of a valuable resource. You know, that reactor does a lot for you production-wise, and now you're just going to be losing it or access to it, because anything that's on there is just going to get hit and hit hard. So that's pretty rough for you. As now this starport has to fall back, and that's where it gets a little bit awkward, because it'd be really nice if you could have kept on reactoring out Vikings. Now you cannot do that. Actually gonna have that Cyclone locking on. That was a great job of the Cyclone getting locked on there. Does a lot for you. That's the sort of thing you want to be seeing. Helps out a whole bunch as the siege tank sieges a bit further forward as well. Marines and Reapers gonna step back. The Vikings gonna get back onto the barracks. I can still move up into the main. And of course, just looking for other positions to be annoying on. Remember that obviously Gumiho is super committed to this, so he needs this to do very serious amounts of damage, otherwise he is in trouble. Those STVs. Just gonna fire some shots up, just gonna get the Viking, the STV coming through. Just going to hit a few of the SCVs, and the SCV is going to get bounced around a little bit. There's one SCV going down already, so a little bit of damage dealt. It's going to fly away, barracks getting pushed back, and we'll see the Reaper still going in, and that SCV will get cleaned out. 7 SCVs going down. This is a moment or two here where you got yourself the tank still pulling up, getting in position, the Reaper's moving around. Maru obviously going to try to get creative where he puts the command center, just so he can even mine at this point, because his opponent has a pretty good siege on his natural, and breaking out is a struggle. Now we're just going to have to be very slow and systematic. Vikings landing down even, and going to be seeing some successes. The Vikings still in the sky here from Maru. Maybe we can take some air control in this moment. Maybe that's the way back into this for him, as those Vikings will stay landed. Now Maru has to land his Vikings. The Vikings will run back. Problem is Maru, I mean, we just about saved the starport, which is really huge. I'll have the barracks going to get chased away, so the high ground vision going to be debunked here, as Maru, I think, is starting to kind of get there in terms of damage, or just surviving through it. I mean, it's been a pretty weird and wild one, but I do actually think we're going to get to a point here at some stage where we're going to have defended this. The siege tank there on the high ground is going to get cleaned up. That gets pushed back, so that'll get cleaned up as well. TTV is still moving through for the starport. There's got the other Vikings coming through as well. SCVs are going to pull in. Tanks, Vikings. I mean, just full on surround here from Maru, as Gumiho is going to get cleaned up. Remember, Maru is able to mine and build SCVs from the right-hand side, but there's a Cyclone actually denying the SCV, so that's a big deal. Maru can't really get anything over there quickly to deal with it, not while he's been defending the main. So loses a lot of SCVs, which is going to put Gumiho ahead on workers with his own natural CC up. But that might actually be the deal breaker in this game at the end of it all. As crazy as that may seem, that actually might have be the thing that has the largest impact here. As this Viking lands, SCVs will keep dropping. Cyclone still coming through, and those Vikings are still taking a whole chunk of damage as well, so damage is being done across the board at the moment. Damn. Well, Cyclones lock on. It's going to be another SCV taking a few shots, and the Cyclone's going to turn back around and lock onto that Liberator and take that down too, man. Just as Maru looked as though he's seen success in the cleanup, it's like, yes, he succeeded cleaning up, but actually, he still have problems because Gumiho has now got his own base up and running, and is now mining fairly comfortably, and you got to try and figure out an answer to that. That is the part that is going to be a little bit more of a struggle as the Vikings land the starport taking damage. It's going to be seeing that going down as well. I mean, the good news is from Maru is that you can shut down some of the production, but Gumiho has already rebuilt a bunch of that production as well, so even that part of this is not exactly looking ideal. Vikings and the tank continue to gather together. Well, this is definitely taking some rough turns as Maru is just going to have to say GG, and that might be it for Maru in the Masters Coliseum. This is one of those scenarios where I think you just... bouncing back from this is going to be extremely tough. Especially getting 2-0'd here is going to be very bad for your map score. And map score is one of those things which is going to be huge for you. Did I just forget to mute as well for too long? I really hope that 10 seconds of music is not going to get us demonetized, but whatever, it happens. Alright guys, just as we get ourselves some minutes here while they set up the next matchup, a couple of reminders of what's going on. First of all, today we've got 3v3 tournament coming up in about 3 hours time. So the plan for the day is we're going to do the Masters Coliseum. We then have a sponsorship to do on the stream here on Twitch. So we're going to do the sponsorship and then go live with our 3v3 tournament, which starts in 3 and a bit hours. So we're going to basically be live all day. The sponsored content is Star Trek Fleet Command. So we're going to be getting that up and rolling. If you want to check that out on the Twitch chat, !star, you can download the game, get into your, basically doing the intro, provides at least $1 to the stream. If you keep on playing and get up to level 6, doesn't take super long. You can also support the stream with real money just by downloading and playing the game. So !star, check out Star Trek Fleet Command, and we will be playing that on stream a little bit later on so you guys can get a look at it as well in case you're not sure. And like I say, we'll be playing that, but if you want to support the channel for free, it's one of the easiest and best things you can do. Get involved with those sponsors, helps out a bunch. Why did my first channel get demonetized? My channel didn't get demonetized. My live streams keep getting demonetized because Masters Coliseum keep playing copyrighted music. So I have to mute up the music, and I'm just... my goal is to try and have a single stream where I remember to mute the game... I'll mute the sounds as soon as we come out of game so we don't get demonetized, but... yeah... I'm not very good at it because it's so unnatural to have to, like, instantly mute when you start the game finishes. And it seems as though even messing up for, like, 5 seconds or so is enough to, yeah, even messing up for, like, 5 seconds is enough to get it to pop off. So, yeah, they're probably going to do highlights here. Usually they do highlights and then they do some additional, like, a few minutes or a couple minutes, and then we'll be getting into Lancer Gumiho. As Gumiho lost a hero, this is his chance to go 2-1. I mean, Lancer's also 1-1 right now, so if Lancer is able to beat Gumiho, he'd also be in a great position to move through this group, because then Gumiho would be 1-2. In fact, Lancer, the winner of this series advances, I'm pretty sure, because Hero's 2-0, Maru's 0-2, and these guys are both 1-1, so whoever wins this just straight up advances, and then Hero Maru does not matter, because it's the guy with 2 wins and the guy with 2 losses. The only reason Hero Maru could matter potentially is map score related for like 4th and 3rd place for Maru, and 1st and 2nd place for Hero, and which one you end up on. But yeah, Maru's already eliminated. Like, there's not even a question mark. Like, he is just out. Damn. Alright, here are the highlights, guys. They'll play through for a couple of moments. And yeah, basically, yeah, just Lancer Gumiho is a straight up winner advances matchup. See, I'll sing you guys the music, okay? This is what you guys are missing out on. Just in case you're worried that it was really top tier quality, you're really not missing out on much, okay? TLDR. This was a solid series from Gumiho, and I love the build in the second game. I love you up a game, you get aggressive like that, you make it weird. It's such a difficult build to hold. It's the sort of build where you make one mistake and it all comes crashing down. And Maru just could not quite find enough good plays in a row to truly break out of it. Maru ain't going to be happy because he has to stick around to play hero now. I'm a little bit sad because I almost feel as though Maru hero, now that's not going to mean much. I'm not sure how much Maru is going to try and care to play for that, you know? Maru is not the kind of guy to care much once winning the tournament is not on the line anymore. So, yeah, I'm extremely intrigued to see whether or not that becomes... Yeah, to see how that goes. But we will see. Demonetized and reported. Wow. My singing was good enough to get demonetized, I'd be impressed. Alright, we're gonna get into Lancer versus Gumiho is our next matchup, guys. So that's gonna come through in just a couple of moments. Alright, here we go. Lancer and Gumiho ready to play. And again, this is a straight up winner advances. Lancer beat Maru yesterday, so I did not see those games. Again, if you missed when we explained it earlier, the reason I wasn't casting yesterday is because when they sent me the schedule for this tournament, it was Saturday and Sunday every single week. And that did not change. And that is, I double checked the schedule that I was sent, and it was Saturday and Sunday. So at some point they changed it from Saturday, Sunday to Friday. No one told me, and I did not notice that it had changed because I had already written it down in my own calendar when the games were. And so that's on me for not presuming that clearly people change their tournament for, tournament schedules out of nowhere. So yeah, that one's on me. All right, have some game sounds back, guys, as we get into this next round. It's on me. I also feel like they could have sent me a message like, "Hey, you know how we sent you the schedule for the tournament? We changed it." Even more so because they originally sent it to me so that I could avoid their tournament with my events. Like, it doesn't work if you then go changing your schedule and don't tell anybody. Wardy rage. It's okay, guys. If this is all we've got to complain about, I'd say we're doing pretty darn okay for ourselves. It ain't so bad, you know? It ain't so bad. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today as we have Lancer and Gumiho coming at you for some TVP action, getting this one up and rolling already. To get this straight up and look to see where we're going to go. Just going to be having the gateway coming through, probes coming up, barracks and the SCV coming online as well. You never heard about Lancer before? It's Cyan. You've probably heard of Cyan, Chinese Protoss player. Yeah, this is Cyan. Just renamed fairly recently. A few months ago now, I guess. I think it was renamed the last season of ESL that we had, actually. So, kind of a while, but understandable. But you may just not have missed him or seen him recently, so... We have our Reaper coming through. We take a couple of moments. Benson coming up, Marine and the SCV producing, Depot on the way in as well. Just going to be having our Nexus and the Adept continuing to produce on through. The Stalker also in production for the moment, so we get that up and online. I'm going to come hopping about. I'm just going to be seeing it coming into this main base. So Gumiho putting some pressure on. Lancer with that proxy is already looking to obviously put some pressure on early and take control of this game himself. I don't mind it actually. I mean, taking on Gumiho, I always think you can take control away from him, because Gumiho is such a aggressive / creative player. If you can kind of throw him off already, I actually think it takes away one of Gumiho's biggest strengths, which is kind of more towards the improvising state of life than anything else. We have ourselves the orbital command still coming through, so we bring that orbital command up. Barracks on the way, tech lab and the reactor coming up as well. All of that still being brought into play as the Reaper continues over on the right side too. Stories are going to knock their way through that reactor. That reactor is also going to go down. Maybe a grab, and we are going to see the couple Stalkers and the Probe still going after those depots, so a little bit more damage being dealt for the moment. You see depots taking quite a lot of shots. The Marines are still going to continue forward, trying to fight, as we do see the Stalkers whacking away at the depot for a little bit longer too. Cyclone even getting in there, and with that range able to be pretty devastating, so reason to be concerned. You don't want to lose too much of the Cyclone, so yeah, be a little bit cautious on that one. Take a few moments here or there just to make sure you don't let this get out of hand. Now the orbital command will land down onto the low ground, so we move the orbital across, and we get the natural expansion ready to go. The Reaper's still chasing down a few probes, so a few workers being picked away at the moment. Just going to be seeing the Marines and the siege tank continue to gather together. Reaper going to get another probe. Reaper's been very good this game. Already got a couple of probes earlier, now getting one more. So getting some good damage on there as the Reaper comes back through again. Probes will continue to take some hits. Prism and the charge continue to come online. We still got a pylon on the way as well, so we continue to bring that up. Get all of that going. A couple more gateways coming through. Gonna have ourselves the stim pack and the combat shield both building up. The Stalker's gonna be there hitting the Cyclone for a few moments as well. Siege tank continue to take shots. Shrine building, the gateway is on the way through, so you just keep building all of that up. We get a lot of that coming through at the moment. And again, Stimpack Combat and +1 all coming into play. Just getting ourselves settled, as that Dark Shrine will be done very soon too. Couple Zealots warping off the Prism. They're going to get ready to move forward as well. It's just going to get those aggressively set in a few moments' time, as we do have the Robo Bay and Dark Shrine and company. Continue to move about. Just going to have the Prism ready to fly in, so Lancer looking for some aggression here, looking to see if he can find some success, which he's not been able to have in this game so far. It's not been a bad game necessarily, just I feel like the Reapers did so much damage to him. A few Zealots come through, but Gumiho's pretty well set, so that doesn't really go anywhere either, and it's definitely running into some problems here for Lancer, who is just not quite having the time of his life. The Bio going to load back into those medevacs for a few moments as well. The medevac's going to come straight across the map. We'll see how Lancer deals with it. The Prism is going to get a sight on this, as he'll have to run. Cyclone involved, so maybe even trying to hunt that Prism down is Gumiho. the units are going to get here. Prism is going to be safe. And that, for now, at least, is going to be a pushback as the units load back into the medevacs, escaping away. Marauder medevac still building up on the side of Gumiho, so all of that coming online here. Pulling all of that in. Just going to get ourselves a DT warped up as well. And get Scan Observer falls. DT's trying to get active there. Just going to be seen lifted back into the Prism though, so that is going to escape away. A few SCVs beginning to go down. Just going to be seeing the DT continuing back through. SCV's going to take some shots. And Bio going to stick around for a little bit. Sophis, Colossus, and Sentries. A couple of force fields coming down. I'm not sure if they're really going to change too much as the Colossus fires back the other way. A couple of Zealots are going to charge through as well. See where we can get to. More SCVs are pulling some big aggressive push from Gumiho, really believing in where we are at. Just going to turn around. Just going to be seeing the Cyclone coming about as well. And this honestly looks pretty terrible for Lance. I mean, the tanks are going to keep sieging through. I mean, already losing gateways on the natural is pretty rough, so that's a lot of your production is going to be going down. So yeah, that's going to be really tough, as you just see the Colossus already taking a bit of a beating as well. We're going to lose one. We cannot really afford to lose the other. As it dies, it's not exactly ideal. GG's. Gumiho is going to take game number 1 as this one just got away from Cyan pretty quickly, to be honest, right? I mean, this did not last very long in his favor at all. Gumiho going to be up a game in this series. I forgot the music. Honestly, I should just give up on trying to save these streams from being demonetized. I don't know why I'm even still trying. Well, guys, as you can see, game 2 will be coming up in a few moments. Get that ready to roll. And this matchup, which really does determine who advances out of this group. Lancer versus Gumiho. In the bottom right side, our blue Protoss player is Lancer. And on the other side of the map, our Terran player is Gumiho. As he is up a game, going to be feeling good about how this has started out. Gumiho a map away from advancing to the playoffs of the Masters Coliseum. That'd be a pretty darn cool result if you ask me. Gumiho's been playing well lately. The CC comes down. Next is going to get started up. Sorry, I'll put the music back on. I've got the music set. It's weird today, so I could actually hear the game sounds and you guys could not. I apologize. That one's just my own mistake. Still moving about, just gonna see that warp gate still coming through. Just gonna our Twilight Council continuing to come up. A couple of probes coming in as well. What's up, ETS Harry? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 21-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate it. You're doing good. Thank you so much. Appreciate the resub. Thanks for supporting the stream as always, man. As we have got our start of this game with the Cyclone coming through, the Starport coming up as well. More wall gates coming through. That blink is still coming by as well. So again, just a little bit of everything coming up for the moment. Final coming through is going to land down. There's going to be another gateway getting started as well. So just going to get that kicking off for a couple of moments here. Stalkers will join up again. That warp gate's still gathering. And Liberator, Siege Tank, the Marines continue through too. So just going to see that all coming up. Our Marines and the Cyclone continue to gather. Medevac and a couple extra Marines still popping over. And we do have again our gateway and probes coming about as well. Tank will unseat. I'm going to come pressing through a little bit, see if we can get up to much on a few steps forward at the moment. I was not really expecting anything to really come of a little shove here, but we can, let's say, test the waters a little bit and see what goes down. Just going to be seeing the Liberator coming over as well, the Bio and the Medevac coming through, Robo Facility, Shield Battery, Probe, and Stalkers all producing. As that Liberator is going to siege up, a couple Stalkers are going to get there and go after the Liberator, as now the Marines are going to be there as well. So a few of those Stalkers taking some shots, damage being done. See that Stalker poking away on the Lib at the moment. General Stalker still building, the Robo Facility coming online. Get settled here for a few moments. See that hallucination still coming over. Just gonna see what else is going on for a couple of moments. Set up. Just gonna be moving through and having ourselves the Marines and the Siege Tank able to actually deal with those Stalkers in a big way. And this is gonna be a pretty darn good defense on the side of Gumiho, who is shoving Lancer back. And Lancer's attempt to be aggressive so far clearly not going the way he wants it to. So that is anything but ideal. As we do have those Stalkers coming back through, past the pylon, past the warp gate. Just for the moment. Is this a replay? Nope. Does any part of this look like a replay to you? No, because it looks heckin' live. We even have players with player cams and all sorts. It does not get more live than that. It actually really doesn't either. Player cams are AI, yeah. Honestly, who even knows in this day and age? Who even knows? I'm just gonna be seeing the medevacs loading up. They're gonna move about for a little bit as well, so away they go for a few moments. That's gonna load. SCVs are gonna get jumped on. Gonna be seeing the SCVs dropping. Just gonna be seeing the concussive shots coming through. Marauder coming up. Medevacs as well. All continue to come about here just for a few moments. Bio's gonna come through. There's a couple of Zalds gonna get jumped on as well, but there's a storm going the other direction. The storm's nice, but it's not going to save you here. Gumiho definitely looking to have just enough at the moment as we continue to stand and fight. We might not be able to continue pushing through. Actually, Stalkers will get the medevacs. That's nice. Do we get all three? Marauder death sound always kind of wild on the on the Chinese servers. Or the Chinese, it's not the server, but the Chinese game client, I guess. Yeah, it's just the Marauder death sound. In China. The Chinese game client actually has all of its own death sounds. Some of them are legit pretty crazy. New band name, Marauder Death Sound. I like it. Very cool. So we've seen a few more units coming about. Get settled here for just a second. And Gumiho really just going to camp out the front here. I really don't know what else you're going to really have to say about this one, guys. This one is 100% looking like going to be getting done soon. Having our tanks from afar continue to settle down. See what we can do with these. Oh, a little bit. Once we get settled in here, we see what will happen next is just going to be having the Raven continue to come about too. And just let's see a couple of SCVs, a couple of probes all dropping here just for the moment. And they're definitely trying to get a little bit more done as well. So just a few more shots coming about wherever possible. For now, as we set up in this one. Storms as we play defense. Gumiho's supply about 50 ahead though, so definitely in a very, very good position. Playing these simple right now, it's just an extremely good place to be. Ain't nothing really going to be changing about that. This one is just going to be very difficult to play out of as Lancer. Your supply is struggling. Gumiho is in control. He's picking the fights he wants to take as well, which is always going to be a very good feeling. Again, T2 and the ship weapons all coming up, so we just bring that through, bring that online for the moment. Big push on the right side, just going to be seeing a base going down. I mean, you got to keep some of these bases alive as lands, otherwise you really do just end up in too much trouble, right? The problem is keeping that alive is clearly turned into a bit of an issue at the moment, so problems are definitely abound. Everyone's just joining up, we get gathered in. I'm still gathering over to that right hand side again. 2 upgrades coming about, just get set up for a couple of moments. Another storm coming through as well. Yeah, the storm straight by. Again, a couple of probes still coming out as well. It's just getting all of that on the way in for the moment here. We've seen another storm coming through, so a little bit more damage being done. Just going to be seeing the Colossus trying to hold its own here alongside those couple of storms, if at all possible. Right now, that is not necessarily. I mean, it's always going to be rough at this stage. Let's be realistic. A couple other medevacs coming around. Let's see, a couple of Zealots still getting into action, still getting going. A bit more damage being done. This one really is getting cleaned up, I think, sooner rather than later. Lancer is kind of fighting back in terms of supply, but I just feel as though Gumiho's army is going to be so much better quality. We've been building nukes, right? That's how Gumiho feels about this game right now. He's out here building nukes already. Scorpion Colossus gathering in. It's just going to get a little bit of a push going on. Just going to see our Bio trying to spread out and fight if possible. On missile as well as Gumiho gets kept back. I always love watching Gumiho play. Sometimes I feel like he looks so shocked about things where it's like, I feel like he's like in complete control, but he looks as though he's like, oh my god, you have those units? Like, oh my god, your army's here? I don't know, there's something about his facial expression when he plays always has me, sometimes I just look at the camera, I'm like, man, it makes me feel like I'm watching a different game to what he's playing, you know, at certain points. It's going to be having a few tanks still setting up, a few probes going down as well. Don't get me wrong, Lancer is maxed out. There's always the chance of a good fight. I just feel like we're actually maybe even beyond the point of a decent fight being enough. I actually still think he needs a good fight. His army is very stalker heavy too, which I think at this stage of the game is just not ideal. As that Bio will turn, a couple of those Zealots will be dropping. Advanced ballistics coming through. Vikings, Ghosts, all on the way out as well. Like I say, more and more tech coming online. Lancer is just getting bullied abound by drops as well, which is not exactly fun in these situations, so it's not exactly going to make you feel much better about life. Or where this game is at. Anything to that effect, really. I mean, everything's starting to turn back the other direction, so coming the other way, but again, difficult to really see this doing much more than kind of extending you on. I mean, your work account's not great either, so when it comes to rebuilding, not exactly great. The Marines is going to be firing. Some shots coming through. As we do have probes still just going down, so again, just little bits of harass from Gumiho being successful at the moment. Definitely a good sign. This few zealots coming over as well. Nice storms coming down. The Vikings obviously would like to try and work their way through those Colossus if possible, but the Colossus actually stand back, and we're going to keep them alive, so good preservation of units there, I would say, by our Protoss play. I mean, keeping the Colossus alive, I think, does a lot for you. It really does help. Have ourselves the Vikings, the bio units will continue to gather up just for a few moments as well, so we get all of that on the go. So using that Colossus and everything else going through, the Stalker's going to be there to try and push the Vikings back. Some of the bio army taking some damage as well. Protoss force coming all the way back down through the center of the maps, just coming back down over here, moving away for a couple of moments. And just peel on through. And the army's still gathering up together, so just all joining through for a moment or so. Getting settled. As the army continues to gather up on the left as well, trying to see if there's anything more of interest we can provide. And Gumiho is still dancing with that army, but he's also got other things going on for him, such as moving across to the right-hand side. That base over there, that 3 o'clock, is going to get taken down again, so Lance is going to lose that location. Losing that location, of course, does not exactly bode well for you at the moment. It's not ideal as a couple of those lib shots keep on firing through as well, so we still get more damage being done. Vikings moving back across again, just going to be seeing the Archon, Stalkers, and Colossus. All putting some pretty serious work in, to be fair. Getting some damage done across the board, as we do have Gumiho in a bigger fight here. I mean, both players drop a fair amount of supply, so don't get me wrong, this is not just a kind of a fight where Lancer is losing now. Gumiho is taking some losses as well, so yeah, there's a factor to be considered in that one. 15 probes down once again. Lancy's just being kept back in that economy and that ability to rebuild. I mean, after a fight like this, maybe there is just some justice to just committing and just sending it, because I feel like the longer that we wait, the worse off this is going to be getting. I really feel like, I mean, each and every one of these fights, sometimes Gumiho just throws some units away. Maybe like if you just hit the right counter, it would give you the option, or the chance at least, to perhaps get something going for yourself in those moments, right? Maybe that could be your opening in this game, because God knows we actually do need to see an opening at some point soon for Lance. Otherwise, this game is just going to continue going the same way. It's going to go. That's a massive liberator. Maybe if we can just get through them already. I guess Siege, there's not enough units to justify an aggressive blink forward, unfortunately, so that doesn't go anywhere at all. A little sad, because I actually thought that could have been something maybe cool as the liberator continues to set up. Stalkers and the High Templar and everything continue to move around once again here. take position. I'm seeing the bag is going to go straight onto the Nexus. Again, play a little bit of cleanup right now. CC is going to go down the other side, so Gumiho is going to lose a Planetary Fortress, so we got a little bit of meaning coming from that, as now the bio continues down the right. We're going to try and see if we can push through over here, see some success. It's not going to be enough for Lancer, as Gumiho is going to advance from this group alongside Hero, so it's going to be Gumiho and Hero out of Group C, Maru eliminated. We do still have Maru versus Hero to be played at the end of this group, so that will be coming up now. So we'll get into that Maru versus Hero series in just a few. We'll do the typical break that they do. We are going to be kind of on schedule to do everything we need to today. Our 2-hour sponsor in the middle of our tournaments. It's actually going to play out nicely for us, guys. So again, the way that today's working for us is we're going to do this matchup of Maru Hero. After that, we're going to do our Star Trek Fleet Command sponsor. And then we have our 3v3 $600 tournament. So that's going to be how things go on our side. If you want to stick around and watch, then we obviously greatly appreciate it, and it does help out a whole bunch as well. So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's going on here on WardiTV today. Actually, a pretty full day. Just there's going to be some non-Starcraft involved in between is all. But it's non-Starcraft that supports the channel and helps us to run tournaments and all of that good stuff as well. 3v3 20 sounds fun. Yeah, our team tournaments have been pretty fun when we've had them. We've done a few now, and yeah, they actually do tend to be pretty entertaining, so looking forward to it. I'll be coming up in a little bit. We already have some fun signups. Hoping to see maybe a couple more signups. We will see who signs up by the end of the day. So I'll just run some ads while we have some downtime here, guys. Waiting for this next match. Thank you for joining us, especially on YouTube. 340 people watching on YouTube. We have half the viewership on YouTube. Our YouTube viewership is like 50% of our Twitch viewership, which is, as a percentage, one of the highest it's ever been, I think. So, it's amazing. Hello, YouTubers. Thank you so much for joining in today on some Mars Coliseum games. Appreciate you guys jumping in and enjoying some StarCraft with us. We'll work our way through these highlights. I'm actually very happy for you guys that you don't have to listen to the music, because, man, it is the same repetitive loop every 10 seconds. So as you can see, Hero versus Maru is up next. We'll be getting straight into that when possible, guys. Just give us a few moments to get that set up. We'll kick that off. Look at that match history. Maru pretty dominant over Hero. I think Hero's going to win this one today. I think Maru already being eliminated. I don't know how much Maru is going to be caring about playing some tip-top Starcraft. And Hero's been pretty good lately as well, honestly. So I genuinely do not think Hero is going to lose this one. I don't think Maru's going to, like, just give up. I just don't think Maru's going to try his absolute best, you know? Which I think is fair enough. He's got nothing to play for. Well, he's got like $50 to play for if you take third place instead of fourth, but because he lost to Lancer, I think he doesn't even win the third place anyways if he wins this, so it's a completely pointless series, unfortunately. It's kind of the cost sometimes of having this four-player round-robin group. It kind of plays out like this. Usually you have Hero Maru last, and you think it's going to have a lot of meaning in the day, but like I say, obviously today, that's just not going to be the case. As into game we go, we have Hero and Maru, and already a probe is just coming straight across the map to try and see what we can do. Let's just take a few moments to get settled in. See where we're gonna go. We're just gonna get ourselves a gateway and a barracks coming down to begin with, so we get that started up here for a few moments. Get this settled down. Have ourselves a few moments of build up as you can see the Cybercore coming through, factory coming up as well. We got all of that rolling here. All the early stages. Like I say, I see where things are going to go to, see what's going to happen as we make our way through this one. Trooper hops out. I'm just going to see that starting to move out onto the map. So that's going to be getting a move along here right away. Onion across to the other side. Seeing what we can get up to. See if there's any trouble to be caused. Like I say, in these early stages, see if we can make anything in particular exciting happen. As the Reaper comes through, just going to be seeing that Nexus will finish shortly. And Twilight Council coming up as well to accompany things for the first few moments. Let's have to try and come through a couple Marines on the production tab. We are going to go for the high ground CC, so very safe command center here from Maru as it gets settled. Of course, Hero is already through this group as well. He can fight for guaranteeing first place. I think he's probably in a pretty good spot for first place anyway, so I don't think that's too big of a deal. As the Adept is going to step up. Let's see the Adept coming across the other direction. We're going to try and see what we can do. As we just have ourselves the Robo Facility, the Gateway, and all that good stuff continuing through for now as well. Medevac coming across the map. Mine drop will set up, and we'll try and make something happen with those wood mines over the next few moments. Just going to get that ready to go initially. Starcraft's actually going to find the medevac for a couple moments, which is nice, and get some shots on it. Obviously, weaken that medevac, going to be difficult to then get the wooden mines to where they need to be, so trying your best on that one. They're going to make that a little bit of a difficulty. Let's just see the Stalkers once again hitting the medevac. So yeah, if you can't get those medevac, those wooden mines ever dropped off, they are never going to be a danger, and that's a pretty good win for you. Generally, general rule of thumb, you take those. Yeah, I think we'll be in the business of taking this one as you see the wooden mine drop does finally get through. Actually, will get burrowed, but Hero is still paying attention to it and is going to pull the probes nicely. So not too much success there. Wooden mine on the natural. Ooh, good retargeting initially to try and get some extra damage done as Hero start to pull away, trying to guarantee some extra probes, but Hero honestly deals with that pretty well also now. Stalker's actually going to come straight through. They're actually going to blink on top of that siege tank, so immediate aggression going well here for Hero as he blinks on top of the tank, now going after some of those Marines as well. Tank going to fire back a few probes, and SCVs going down at the moment, so a little bit more damage being done. Just going to be seeing those Stalkers continue to play cleanup on some of the supply depots as well, so again, we'll work our way through that for the moment. Let's set up. We do have our Robo Bay coming online as we speak. Stalkers in the main base, trying to get Stimpack. The SCV repair there is good, is going to be able to clean that up. So it's going to be able to take that down. That will be full on, a couple more units coming about as well. As we do see Hero just really kind of powering through. These Stalkers going to blink straight onto the siege tank once again. Going to get there immediately. How successful will that turn out to be is the question. We see how Stalker's still going. I mean, SCV's being lost, the Marines bleeding out. I think it's very fair to say that this is becoming a very solid game here from Hero at the moment. He's just going to blink in the main base. He will get Combat Shield, I believe. I think that is going to be an upgrade that does get cancelled, even if we didn't get the previous Stim Pack. That did survive, but yeah, Combat Shield gets denied here, so that will be a factor for the moment. We've seen a lot more units getting warped in once again, so again, just going to be seeing Hero keeping up the pressure. He's not going to let this go now. He is costing him units. This is not coming freely. So you are seeing at least a little bit of a cost being invested into making all of this happen. So that is the positive so far. If you are a Maru fan, cheering for him to at least take down Hero in this group, because at least Hero's having to pay for this, as he does get some SCVs. He's obviously knocked down some of the tech units, such as the siege tanks and so on, and that's going to help you out a whole bunch too. Like I say, there are some definite positives across the board, which you can maybe look at in terms of, well, that could help Hero to kind of see another stage of this game, or a later stage of this game, or things to that effect. Still just harassment is obviously as well keeping Maru back at home, so as long as Maru is not moving out onto the map, they're probably going to be a much happier Protoss player, because a Maru that's having to play defensively is a Maru that is not up in your face, trying to take good positions and trying to make it very difficult for you to survive. So I'm going to say that that's a pretty big win that Hero is leaning upon right now as well, from where this game is going and what's coming of it. So just going to turn around, actually going to go for the siege tank for a few moments. The SCVs are pulling, as Maru just says, enough is enough. Let's get across the map and let's make something happen here, because I'm sick of kind of getting bullied around. Don't really blame him. I do think it's not a bad time for Maru just to say, screw it, let's go. I think he is kind of on the point where if you don't do something soon, you're going to be ending up in just overall a lot of trouble. So here we go. He actually gets a decent concave to try and jump on these Colossus with. I mean, is it enough? Is going to always be the question. And the answer is no. Hero is going to take game number 1 just like that. And he is going to grab the first game of this TVT. So Hero opens up strong. And you get ready for our game 2 in a moment. We're going to go to Whispers of Gold. Maru down a map. Hero, that aggression that just never ended. Good enough to come through in the end there. As I say, grab a game 1 victory. Hero in the lead now of the series. Trying to see how we fight back from this. That's Maru. How much of a fight back is he going to put up, or is there going to be one at all? Honestly, is I think a reasonable question. I think Maru kind of just got beaten up a little bit in that first game. And I can see Hero, if he's feeling it, can absolutely just play a game like that again and absolutely continue to have a great time here, honestly. So, yeah, a little bit worried. I do not think Maru is necessarily in the spirits of putting up much of an engagement in return, but let's see. Why is Hero wearing clothing of the German football club, BVB? Probably because he's a fan and he just has that jersey. Don't think it's anything too deep. Don't think it's a sponsor or anything along those lines. It's just a personal clothing outfit choice. Alright, couple of refineries coming up, barracks on the way in. We got our simulators coming online as well, so we get all of that going just for a moment here. Here we go, orbital depot coming through. Just going to get a little bit of everything on the way to begin with. So a few different bits and pieces that are needed for the early game as we settle down in what could be our last game of this week's Monster Coliseum action. Again, I'm sorry I missed yesterday, guys. Can't really do much when they don't tell me schedule changes. So again, just apologies for not being here yesterday to get the start of this group. Obviously, we'll be back next week. Next week it is Saturday, Sunday, at least still on Wikipedia. So yeah, we will be back for the full coverage next week once again. 0-3 Maru. You know, that's kind of a crazy result. To be fair, I could see him losing to Hero, and I could see him losing to Gumiho. I think the real shock here, I think this is all a series of events, right, where he loses to Lancer. That's a shock. That's an upset. The 0-3 I don't think actually matters that much, because I think Gumiho is very good, but I think the moment he lost versus Gumiho, you're never going to see 100% Maru against Hero. Maru, I don't feel like Maru is ever a player that plays with some like purpose to prove. I really feel like he's just like, oh, I'm out. Okay, well, I'm just going to chill out. And obviously, he has to play the games, right? But I really don't see Maru as this, like, okay, I'm going to prove that I could have beaten Hero and beaten top. He's just like, okay, you know, I'm not in try-hard mode at all, whereas Hero's still trying to get a better seed. So I really feel it's just like that. Lost to Lancer is the concern, because he loses to Gumiho, and I think that's fine. Gumiho plays some very good TVT lately. Clearly, Maru's is maybe not as up to par, but I don't think there's any shame losing a best of 3 TVT to Gumiho. I mean, first game was pretty fun. Mech vs. Mech, I even think is Gumiho's stronghold. And then you play game 2, and Gumiho hits you with a funky one-baser, and you just can't quite control that. Like I say, unfortunately, that's just enough to knock you out of the tournament already, though, before we even see you play Hero, so... yeah. Sad. As do have a hallucination coming across the other side of the map, trying to see a little bit of what is going on, trying to figure out what's happening here over the next few moments. Raven, SCV, Marine. We'll continue online as we, again, just take a few moments to get set up. See where we're going to get to, see what's going to come about of all this. And it's going to deal with the Widow Mine drop pretty nicely to begin with, so already getting those in position. You know, like I say, start dealing with that pretty nicely. It's just very comfortably clearing that up. We do have our Phoenix and our Stalkers continue to come by, and they're just going to continue across the other way for a few more moments as we take a setup in this game. Phoenix will come gather together once again. It's just going to get set up over here. Bring those straight across again. And again, just going to be having a Twilight Council on Forge all coming up. Stalker's going to hit the Reaper. The Sentry going to be there. Pops up the Hallucination. Means we'll try and fend that hallucination off. Obviously right now Hero just picking up all the information he ever needs in this game just to know exactly where he's at, exactly what is going on, so he's going to have zero surprises coming his way. Again, Stim Combat +1. Continue to come through for now. We get all of that going. And we'll just see our Phoenix coming through to lift up a few of those SCVs again. So again, just a little bit more damage being dealt. Phoenix coming back through again. A few SCVs go down. Extra gateways coming online as well. So again, we just continue to get that built up. It's coming through. It's going to be another Widow Mine getting picked away at, so again, even more damage being dealt. One now as we just play, clean up once more. Bio will gather in. Phoenix is going to be seeing that Bio Force coming across the map as well, so you have that information to work with here, knowing your opponent is kind of coming towards you. So Hero can take a little bit of prep time, get himself ready in these next few moments. It's just going to pick off reinforcements as well, which makes this push ever, so much weaker for Maru essentially. So that's going to be a continued issue for him, as he will lose out on a few units here and there. And still trying to get his way across the map, being, forced to chase these Phoenix around a little bit is not exactly fun for him either. So none of that exactly going great, as we are going to see Guardian Shield popping up. We're going to chase straight through into that group of units. So they are all going to get chased down. Big chase from Hero actually coming up through the middle of the map, so away we go. Really trying to get set up to find whatever we can at the moment. This nation just stepping up first. I mean, if it's absorbed another Widow Mine shot or so, that would have been nice. Always a good thing if you can make that happen. Not essential or anything, though. Not a complete necessity. Phoenix coming across. Just going to be having our Marines and Marauders still sitting through. Widow Mine shots do not go off because we're able to just go in there and just go kaboom and get the lift off. So that's going to be absolutely fine. So clean up on that one is Hero Supply already looking very, very good, by the way. Absolutely looking great, in all honesty, as yep. Definitely looking pretty reasonable there for the moment as we continue to get settled here. and figure out what our next stage of this is going to be. It's going to have our Phoenix gathering up. Going to see that third orbital going to try and land down. But as it lands down, Hero's army is just down that ramp, ready to try and strike. We nearly get a medevac in the main base as well. So again, we can continue to put some work into all of that. As now we have a couple of mine shots going off, and Hero will again respect it and fall back. But I do just think it's a matter of time before he's just going to have enough to send this through. And look very confident in doing so. Two Colossus still building. Again, the +2 and extended thermal lens on the way out as well, so we bring all of that into play. And a lot of that coming by. As Alex and Colossus will gather up, going to be having our Phoenix still lingering around in the main base as well, seeing what else we can get done. A couple of Widow Mines just going to come across, make their way around as Colossus trying to get active. Well, EMP goes the other way. Colossus is going to get hit. We'll start to work our way through this set of rocks right here. It's just going to open up this little bit of space, open up this area, and have a bit of movement available to kind of move through toward the third base right now. Disruptor shot's going to come in. Bang, bang! Big connections right there. Oh, Colossus, Zealot, Stalkers, Phoenix. I mean, we're just going to commit to this as Hero. As he runs straight into it, and he is going to just laser down absolutely everything. That is going to be GG for Maru. Hero is going to take it 2-0, just like that. A little smaller for Maru as he taps away from that one. And it is going to be Hero and Gumiho to advance. Hero in first place, Gumi in second. Gumi was a 2-1 yesterday. Kind of want to go back and watch that series, actually, because that seems like it was probably a lot of fun. Maybe you should go back and check on that one. As Maru. Not a great day for him. Like I say, honestly, I don't take this Maru Hero series into great consideration. I don't think this tells us much. His loss to Lancer, his loss to Gumiho, I think, are much more telling results across the course of this. Alright guys, what we're going to be doing now is going to go into our sponsored content. YouTube, we are going to go offline on YouTube for the next 2 hours. When we come back, it'll be the WardiTV 3v3 December Cup. So if you guys want to join us on Twitch for the sponsorship, you're more than welcome. But we will be back on YouTube in about 2 hours' time with our 3v3 Open Cup. And then we'll be back on... then we'll be back, obviously, here on Twitch. We're going to be going into the Star Trek Fleet Command sponsor. And then we'll go into, from the Star Trek Fleet Command sponsor, the WardiTV 3v3 Cup without the stream going offline. So we're not going to give you anything kind of surprising, basically, on the on this side of things. Don't want to delay the December Cup for another 5 days. I would just call it... It's not necessarily a December Cup. It's just a cup. You could call it a January Cup. I can name change it. In fact, I only use the December in the name because that's when it is, I think. So, this is not like it can be name changed if we did have to delay, but we don't have to delay. Because we will let you guys watch the highlights, but, yeah. I'll switch it over to the new category and stuff. Alright, guys, I got everything ready. I guess we're ready to jump into the Star Trek Fleet Command. These are the next matches. Clem Oliveira, Oliveira Spirit, and Clem Zan. It's actually a pretty fun group, just a lot of TVT, unfortunately. I got two of the TVTs out of the way at the start. This time next week, Saturday, is when this group starts, unless they change it. And then Sunday will be the second day of it, so that'll be coming up. Next week on the Master Coliseum. I wonder why they changed it by a day this time. Alright, let me pull you guys over to me for a little bit. Hello. Oh, webcam, please. There we go. Alright guys, so this is going to be a sponsored section of the stream. We're going to play Star Trek Fleet Command for the next couple of hours until it's time for our 3v3 event. So if you just want to hang out with us, then you can do that. If you do want to support the stream, !star in the chat. YouTube, I'm going to actually turn you guys off right now. So bye YouTube, if you want to come join me on Twitch, feel free for the sponsored content. Otherwise, we'll be back on YouTube in 2 hours for the 3v3 cup, okay? Alright, bye YouTube. Bye. Unfortunately, we didn't get paid to stream you guys, stream on you. So we will not. So yes, turn YouTube off. Cool. Oh, a player